episode 45 of my Yarny Corner. My name's Alex and I live in Yorkshire in the UK, and this is a podcast all about knitting and crochet. So, before we start, I will leave all the information about where you can find me in the description box below this video. I am on Ravelry, Instagram. There is a very inactive Facebook page, which for 2023 I am going to get more active in. There is a Patreon link and there is a Ko-fi link. Wow, it's been 2 weeks since the last episode and it's been a really crazy 2 weeks. Oh my word. I hope you've all had a great couple of weeks. So we are coming up to Advent knitting, and I have had a bit of a nightmare with my knitting over the past couple of weeks. I had been doing the Knitvent, which I had loved, and I'll show you it in a minute, but I did finish the Anthology Throw. I was very close last week to finishing it when I did the podcast last fortnight, and I did finish the Anthology Throw. But what happened was, when I finished it, I was just nothing else compared to it. I enjoyed knitting that so much that everything else I tried to knit on just didn't compare. So for about a week, I really struggled. It was so difficult to find something else to knit on. I had the Rocket DK, which had been an old languishing whip for quite some time. What is that noise outside? Somebody's drilling outside. How rude. If you can hear that, I'm really sorry. Yep, the Rocket DK had been a languishing whip since about the summertime, I think. So I thought, right, okay, I'm just going to finish that. That's what I'll do. I finished that. It only needed sleeves. That's all it needed. In fact, it hadn't been languishing since the summer, maybe about a month, 6 weeks or something like that. I'm exaggerating a bit there. I do tend to do that. Anyway, I thought, right, okay, I'll finish the sleeves on that. I did one sleeve and I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I should have taken pictures, really. On the front, it all puckered up here. These sleeves were incredibly tight, which I could have rectified by adding more stitches and picking up a few more stitches. That wasn't too much of an issue, but just here, it had like this big bloom bulge here. And I just thought, how am I going to fix this? I'd have had to pull it all back up to here and remove some stitches. It was just like these huge sections. It looked kind of like that. It was really weird. So I just thought, oh, I just don't have the mental energy to try and work out what's gone wrong with it. I don't know whether there was just, well, clearly there was too many stitches, but it just didn't sit right. It looked horrible. And I just thought, no. So I ended up frogging the entire thing. So that happened within a couple of days of me filming the last podcast. So I got in a real mood with myself about that. Pulled all the yarn out and thought, right, I'm just going to frog it. But I still had the slip extravaganza. I thought, it's okay. I have another whip. I have the slip extravaganza. And this is one of the reasons why I like a lot of whips. Because what I find that when I finish a project, I just can't decide what else I want to work on. I just can't decide. And I find it really difficult. Whereas if you've got a lot of whips, I can just pick something up and not really give it too much thought. So I'm like, right, it's okay. I will pick up the slip extravaganza, work on that, everything will be fine. So I started working on that and I'm like, I don't like the white. Now, I'd had this conversation with you all on the last podcast, hadn't I? And I really convinced myself that I did like the white. But the whole time I was knitting on it, I was thinking, I don't like the white. Because I've seen Mandy's version. Mandy has the Mouses Makes podcast and she is also making the slip extravaganza. And her version is amazing. It's beautiful, and she's done the main colour in a really dark, I think it's black. I said this last time. It's either a really dark grey or black, but it looks amazing. And all I could think was, it'd look so much better in grey. And then I was like, no, you've said you're going to do the white, just continue with the white. And then I just stopped myself, and I just thought, yeah, but if I knit it all, it's a lot of work. It's a huge shawl. And if I knit it all and still don't like the white, I'm going to be so cross because I'm probably not going to knit it again. So I frogged it. I'm just, I don't have 2 skeins of a main colour in grey. I have asked Danny for some for Christmas so I can possibly cast it on again next year. But yeah, I was in such a knitting funk. I really was. So that really upset me. I was wandering around the house. Got no knitting to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I thought, right, well, it's gift knitting season. Let's just crack on with some gift knits. So for the first time ever on this podcast, I have no works in progress. Now, I am casting on a project today, which I'm going to talk about once I've gone through the finished objects. But I have lots of gift knits. Now, you've probably seen these if you've watched the quick gift knit videos, because I've shown them on there. And if you've looked at, no, just that video. Yeah, just that video. The rest of it I've shared with Patreon in the Discord group. So you've probably seen some of these, but I'll talk about them a bit more in depth. So we have a few finished objects, no whips, but I am casting on something today. So let's just get on with the podcast. Oh, we've got before I forget as well, there will be the shop update information. Sneak peek. At the end of the video, we'll do a little bit of a live update and then the shop update at the end of the video and talk about what's going to work, what I'm going to do with vlogmas, and just get into it. So, finished object number 1 is my Anthology Throw. I've talked and talked and talked about this. I am going to have to make another one. So I did finish it. I think it was last Thursday I finished it. This is it. Isn't it beautiful? I absolutely love it. I had a bit of a job blocking it because it's so big. I couldn't pin these edges out properly. I just don't have the floor space. In our house, we don't have that much floor space. Mandy had said to me, fold it in half. So I did block it folded in half like this, which gave me a lot more space, but it's still really big. So I couldn't pin these edges out, but I'm not bothered. And I have lived under this every single night since I've made it. Me and the dog have snuggled so much under this. I didn't follow the colour changes that Helen does state in the pattern. I just changed colour whenever I got bored of a colour. So I started off with this gorgeousness. And then this one was a gift from my friend Annie. And then I went into this beautiful yellow, which I had in stash because it matched this one. This yarn here was some yarn that I won from Mandy at the Mouses Makes podcast. I won a mini skein set and a gorgeous notions pouch. So that's one of the skeins there. This one was some gorgeous yarn from my friend. This is called Tiger Feet. It's beautiful. This one is a really old scrap of yarn that I had from about 2 years, maybe 2 years ago. This one here is green lambkin yarn. This one here is from my Stephen West. This one, is that right? I think so. This one here is one of Danny's. This one is an Attic spin dye. I had a tiny amount left. That was from my Rocket Tea. This one is... what's that blue one? Oh, what is that blue one? I have no idea. Absolutely not. Oh! The blue one is a 20 gram mini that I had kicking around, and this one here is one of the Patreon minis. It's not for Alex. That should go to pink at some point, if I'm right. Let me keep looking. It's one of the Patreon minis. It might not be not for... no, it's not for Alex. It's last month's Patreon mini. That's what that is. I haven't used not for Alex yet. This one is some really old sock yarn. It was one of the first sock yarns I got. This one is at my Stephen West, and this one is from my friend Megan, who has the Pearl Passion Etsy shop. So there are all my colours. I can't believe I remembered them all, and it's just beautiful. It really is one of the best projects I've ever made. And for all of you that are making this for Advent, I am so jealous. I really am so jealous. I wish I'd have saved it for Advent, and then I think no, because I've got another Advent project that I'm really excited about, and yeah, I'll make another one of these in a breath. It's beautiful. So the Anthology Throw is finished, and that is my first finished object. Now, the second finished object that I have a pile here, is this hat. So I showed you this on the last podcast. I will prove that I did make it again. This was the first version I made, and I made this for a gift and then liked it so much I kept it, so I had to make another one. So this is out of the Knitvent collection first. Yeah, we'll do all the Knitvent first, I think. So this is the Medley Hat. This is made with DK weight yarn, and it is designed to be a scrappy project. I didn't make it scrappy. I had some DK weight yarn kicking around, which were a gift. So I was desperate to use it. I've been waiting for a project for this DK weight yarn and was so pleased. And I've got another skein as well. In fact, I think I've got 2 more skeins of DK weight yarn. I'm sure I have. So I'll pop it on. I followed the pattern exactly on this. And it is a beautiful, beautiful hat. I won't go into too much detail about this because I talked about it so much on the last episode. But the second one is finished, so that is part of the Knitvent. And then staying with the Knitvent, I did make, so this one is called the Medley Hat, and then there is also the Medley Mitts. So really they should match, but I didn't have any more of this yarn. I had made 2 hats in it, so I didn't have any more of this yarn. And I very rarely tend to wear matching hat and gloves and everything. I would love to have a matching set. I just never have enough yarn of the same, for goodness sake, Alex, I never have enough of the same yarn. So this was some other DK weight that I had kicking around. This was one that I dyed last year. It was in the shop, it never sold, so I stole it. And these are the Medley Mitts. I did modify this pattern. I had to go up a needle, 1 needle size, 2, 9, whatever needle size you use for the ribbon, I did the whole, no, whatever needle size you use for the main part of the mitt, I did the whole mitt in that. The smaller cast on needle, it didn't fit. I couldn't fit them round well over this part of my hand. So I just went up to the size that you use for the main part of the glove, and I did the whole mitt in that. It's all on my Ravelry page. I've been so good about keeping up with Ravelry. Do you remember me saying last year that I wanted to have... Oh, the washing machine's going to start spinning. Wait there. I'm back. Sorry about that. The washing machine was going to go into its spin cycle, and that would have been really loud. So last year, I don't know if you all remember, I was determined I was going to keep a knitting journal. And it lasted till February, I think, before I got bored of doing it. But I think it maybe got to summertime this year, I decided that I would just start using Ravelry. So I have been so good at putting projects on Ravelry. Just for my own benefit, really. If I decide to knit something again, I've got everything written down. I've always got Ravelry. I've always got access to it, so I can just go back and see what I did. So all the information is on my Ravelry page about these. But these are DK weight, and like the Medley Hat, they're designed to be used with scraps, which is really good. You can use fingering weight held double, or you can use DK weight yarn, and they are so cosy. I did make the rib slightly shorter just by a couple of rounds, and the same on the thumb, because I don't like the thumb to come too long down, so when I bend my thumb it annoys me. So I like to keep it under the thumb joint. But yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous. Super, super quick make. They have this gorgeous detail, this little eyelet detail, just after you've done the ribbon, which is fabulous. And yeah, so I'm really, really pleased with them. And then we have another hat. So that's that one. Talked about that one. So a couple of weeks ago, I cast on the, now what was it called? The watch cap, I think it was. I'll pop a picture on the screen. I was talking about it on the Patreon Zoom the other week, and I'd cast it on, and it's a gorgeous hat with the most gorgeous decreases on the top. I'll see if I can find some pictures, and I'll put the pictures up as I'm talking. It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. It's a free pattern by Pearl Soho. Is it Pearl Soho? Yes, I think it is. I'll put a link to it in the description box below. So I cast on this hat, and I'm not, it is, was it a DK weight or an Aaron? Whichever size it was, I'm not used to doing that weight in hats, so I just followed the pattern. It came up really big. So I went on to Ravelry and I looked at some of the project notes on Ravelry, and people were saying the sizing is completely out, so go down to the smallest size. So I went down to a teen, I think, and it was still really big. So I gave up with it. My friend Tote has actually done this. It looks amazing. So if you look at this pattern, I would recommend casting on I think it's the baby size, to get the adult version. But oh my God, it's so gorgeous. But I'd got myself in a little bit of a mood by this point. So I'm like, oh, I'm not casting. I think I'd cast it on 3 times. And I thought, I am not casting this hat on again. So I ended up casting on the classic cuffed beanie instead, which is absolutely gorgeous. Again, all the information about it is on my Ravelry page. I did cast on 72 stitches because I think I went up a needle size. So I cast on a smaller hat because I went up a needle size. So this is it. It should have a pom-pom on, but I don't tend to wear my hats with pom-poms. They're just, I like a slouchy hat. I don't like a tight hat. So when I've got a pom-pom on a slouchy hat, it doesn't really work. So I don't tend to put them on. So this is it. And the yarn is an Aran weight yarn. It's the Women's Institute. I think it's called Soft Tweed. I've got a 400 gram ball of this, and I've still got plenty left to make other things. It's lovely. It's a really quick make, just a couple of evenings. I'll pop it on. So you can have it as a tight beanie like that. Or the way I like to wear it is with the brim folded down, and then I like my hats slouchy, so you can wear it like that, which is gorgeous. It's really nice. It's really warm. I could have possibly I should have gone down a needle size or maybe cast on less stitches. It's a little bit big, but because of how I wear my hats, it's fine for me. I didn't gauge swatch. So, you know, that's my own fault. I should gauge swatch. It doesn't bother me at all. It's absolutely fine. But had I gauge swatched, I would have known that I needed either less stitches or a smaller needle. But it works out fine for me. Actually, it's a really good fit if I'm wearing it with the brim folded up. If I'm wearing it like that, it fits perfectly. It's not too big at all. And I suppose I might wear it like this sometimes if it's really, really cold. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I love this yarn. It's got all these flecks. You can buy this in Hobbycraft. Women's Institute in Hobbycraft is usually 3 for 2. There has been some times when it's not been on offer, but it's usually 3 for 2. And they do a white one in this version as well. It's really, really nice. You can only get it in 400 gram balls though, this one. So I think it used to be £10 for a 400 gram ball. But yeah, it's really gorgeous. So that is that. Now, it's not my final finished object. My next finished object is, I got the most gorgeous, gorgeous skein of yarn for my birthday last year. It's a Giddy Yarns. My tag is over here. Oh. It's a Giddy Yarns, and the colourway is Cinderella. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, when I got this yarn, I was like, this is going in something special. I am not putting this into socks, there's no way. And I wanted it to go in a project where it would just be that yarn. So I've been saving it for a project. I didn't want it mixed into something else because I just wanted this yarn, and I'm not a huge fan of one skein shawls. I've made a couple, but if I have a shawl, I like them really big that I can really wrap around and get cosy in. So I didn't want it in a shawl. So I'd earmarked the sock head cowl for it, And then I thought, I'm just going to wait to see if anything else comes out that's maybe one skein that takes my fancy. So I've been saving it and no other patterns come out. Well, it's coming up for a year that this yarn has been in stash. And I thought, I'm just going to use it. I don't like to have yarn in stash for that amount of time. So I cast on the sock head cowl last week. And this is it. I have ends to weave in, just excuse that, but look at the yarn. Isn't it beautiful? It's just gorgeous. I've made the sock head cowl a couple of times. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and what you do is you have 4 inches of ribbon at each side, so the top and bottom, and then you have just stockinette stitch in the middle. The first time I made it, I did it with the 4 inches of ribbon, but I found on a cowl it kind of sucks in here and sucks in here, and it feels uncomfortable. So I made one for Danny last year, and I did the 4 inches of ribbon on the bottom, but I only did 1 inch of ribbon on the other side, and that sits a lot better on him. When you only do the small amount of ribbon on the other side, blocking is really important because it does flare. So when I did mine, I thought I really don't want the 4 inches of ribbon, so I just did 3 inches of ribbon and the 1 inch at the other side, so I can wear it either like this, which really does keep you warm. It needs blocking, this bit's flaring out. Or if you don't want it tight to your neck, and this is where the blocking needs to happen to stop this folding, you can wear it the other way and sort of fold it in and have it like that. I prefer it the other way where you've got the ribbon at the top because it just gives it all more structure. Look at my hair now. But it's beautiful. I don't make it quite as long either because I get funny when things are around my neck, so I like to feel like I can breathe. I'm so fussy. But it's just beautiful. Look how nice it's knit up. Isn't it gorgeous? So now me and Danny have matching sockhead cowls, which he's not very impressed about. So when he wears his, I can wear mine. It's lovely, isn't it? I've got a little bit of yarn left of this. I think I've got, it was 100 gram skein, and I weighed it at the start because you do need to weigh it and make sure you've got enough yarn. And it was actually 110 grams on that skein. So I used 60 grams. I've got just under 40 grams left. So I think I can get a small pair of mitts to match my cowl with this. So really love that yarn. So thank you to the lovely person. I'm not going to say your name, but thank you to you that sent me this. And then I have one more project, which is sewing. So when I went to Yarn Day last year, let me move that off my knee. I met a lovely lady called Lisa, and she had this most amazing stall. I love this hand-sewn little teddy bears that you can get, and I have tried to make one before and failed miserably. And I was looking around, she had this beautiful stall with all these bears, and there was a fox, and the most gorgeous, gorgeous stall I've ever seen. And I was just totally in awe. I spent ages talking to her, and she was saying, just go for it, just give it a try. And I said, oh, I really don't. It's not a bear that I've made, by the way. I've tried before and I don't think I can do it. And she sells these kits to make these bears. Now, the kits are really, really reasonable. You can hear Danny in the background. Polly's just sat on his knee. She won't move. The kits are really, really reasonable in price. And I know how badly I messed the last one up, so I haven't tried it yet. Anyway, she was saying she was going to start a YouTube channel, and I said, oh, just go for it. You know, it's one of the best things I've ever done. Just totally go for it. I said, when you start your channel, let me know. So she sent me a message on Instagram the other day, and she said, I've started the channel. Do you want to go and have a look at it? Well, she has a fabulous YouTube channel. So like I say, Lisa is a fabulous sewer. And I went onto the YouTube channel, and she's got quite a few tutorials. I think there was 7 or 9 tutorial videos on there. And I thought, fabulous, because the year of 2023 is when I am going to learn to sew. I can make project bags, but that's all I can make. So it's going to be the year where I really experiment with sewing. Anyway, So I decided to have a go with my Advent yarn knitting coming up. I wanted a big project bag that I could keep everything in, and I have a couple of large project bags, but they've got things in them, not whips, yarns that I've got bundles of yarns for certain things. Anyway, she had one for a box bottom tote bag, so I thought I'm going to try this. Now, there's a lot of mistakes in this, but this is it. It's not lined. I think it would have been, oh, I think I could have lined it if I wanted to, but I was just sticking with the tutorial and learning how to make this tote bag. I used cotton, so it's a bit slouchy, but I only want it for a project. I don't want a stiff bag that's going to stand upright. So I've used scraps. I'm so pleased with it. It's got this gorgeous box bottom. It's all tucked in at the sides. You do this stitching here. I've used black thread on the stitching because I wanted it visible. I've made the handles. It's all sewn inside. That's not a very good view, is it? I really like it. I really, really like it. So I'm going to have my Advent project living in here. I will link below to the tutorial video that I used in Lisa's channel. So if you'd like to learn how to make a tote bag, honestly, it was so easy. I started it yesterday, and I started it about 1:30 or something like that. Now, bearing in mind, on the tutorial video, hers is all one piece of fabric. I didn't have enough fabric of a big size to make it, so I had to join fabric together to get the size. So I had to do all that as well before I could actually start the tutorial of joining these fabrics together. And I think I'd finished it about 3:30, 4 o'clock, so it didn't take long. But yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I'm really pleased with it. So I have a project bag ready, waiting for my Advent project. So that is the last thing knitting wise that I'm going to talk about today. Anyway, so yeah, I will leave a link to Lisa's channel in the description box. Go and have a look. Go and look at the tutorials. She does a tutorial for the box bottom tote bag and a tote bag without a box bottom. There's how to use your sewing machine. It's just, there's a fabulous, considering it's a new channel, she's got it set up with a few videos to go, which is great. So you can have a good look through it all if, like me, you're wanting to get more into sewing. So I'm just going to have a swig of my coffee. Was that Bert on your knee?
Yeah.
Oh, Polly's on his knee and Bert were trying to get on as well.
Where's Stewie?
Stuart's over there. Right. So, I am so excited about this. So, shall we talk about Advent knitting? Oh my God, I'm so excited about this project. It's totally something so different for me, but I'm very excited about it. So, I was watching, I think is it Amy? I'm sure it's Amy. I'm really sorry if I've got your name wrong. I'm sure it's Amy. From Happy Little Yarn. She's got a fabulous, fabulous YouTube channel. I've been watching her for quite a while now. She's a lovely lady. She's really upbeat. She does a lot of giveaways and she makes some amazing things. She's all about supporting small businesses, which I just think is fantastic. And she's just an all-round lovely person. I was watching her channel and she was talking about Advent knitting. This was after I'd done my video, by the way. And she's running a makelong this year for an Advent project. So I was like, okay. And she goes, it's going to be leggings. And I thought, leggings? And she showed this picture, which I'm going to put on the screen. And I was like, I need them. I absolutely need those leggings. So she said, if you want to join, you know, I think she's setting up a Ravelry group. So I was just, yes, I want to make these leggings something so out there for me, but such a fun project. And I really want a fun project. My Advent calendar is here. And I want something really different. I've made quite a few shawls now, so I didn't want another shawl. I've got blankets galore, so I didn't want to put it into a blanket. I just wanted something different, and I was really tempted to do the Knitvent cardigan, which I love, but I didn't want to make it and then it not fit. So anyway, I was like, right, I'm doing these leggings. I'm absolutely doing these leggings. You should have seen Danny's face when I told him. He was like, you're going to make leggings? And I'm like, yep. So I saw that picture, I'll pop it on the screen again, and I just totally fell in love with it. They are the Malone leggings. They're not the ones I'm making, but that's the sort of style that you're going to get, that really bright in your face. I think these are going to keep me really warm. I was a little bit concerned of, obviously, fit. So when you've got like socks on, you know how they bag up a little bit. I thought, stocking stitch, what if it bags up when you've had it on for half an hour? So I had a little look on the internet and I came across this free pattern. This is by Drops Design. Again, it's for fingering weight yarn, but these are all rib. This is it. So I thought, actually, that will be better because it's rib. You're not going to get that bagginess. So the style of the Malone leggings, but in this pattern, which I am so excited. So this is what I'm casting on today, because you've got to do this section. The Advent yarn is on the legs, but you've got to get this section done first. So I want to get it cast on. I don't know what yarn I'm casting on with yet or anything, but I'm going to cast them on today. And I am so excited. So that is what I am doing for Advent. You can get, I've since been told that Nitty Natty is also doing pants, and I think she's made, I had a quick look at the video, I think she's making like flared bottoms, which look really cool, by the way. I'm tempted by that as well. But I just want something that's going to keep me really warm. You all know that I suffer so badly with my knee in the cold. So these are going to keep me warm, especially on a night time when it's chilly in the house. And I'm not going to make excuses for this. I want to make this project. It's my knitting. I'll cast on if I want to, Ruth. And that is what I want to make. I think it's just going to be something so different that I've never done before. I am going to make a video for the Patreon channel of all the trials and tribulations that go with making these pants, because I think there are going to be quite a few testing moments in making these. So if you're a patron, there is going to be a video along with that. I don't know whether I'm going to do a whole video, get it together and then upload it, or little bits as I'm going. I don't know. I'll see how difficult they are to make. I am envisioning these to be quite tricky because I've never made anything like it. I don't think I'm going to find this a straightforward make, but as I've got no works in progress, I can concentrate the entire December on these pants, because next year we've got some makelongs coming. You know, Mandy's doing these Starflake, which I really want to do. I've got the Test Your Limits Mal. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So we've got some trickier projects coming next year. So I'm super excited. My advent calendar is behind me waiting. I don't know whether to do, because obviously this is going to be the most amount of stitches here, and then I've got a 20-gram advent calendar, so 20 gram is for each leg is going to give you a decent sized stripe. I do have extra minis if I need more than the 24 that I've got. That's fine. I've got plenty of scraps I can add to it. I don't know if I want this all in one colour or still probably still stripy in the bigger. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. There will be a video on Patreon. If you're not a patron and you would like to become a patron of my Yarny Corner, there will be a link underneath this video that you can follow. You can't search for us on my Yarny Corner on Patreon because we are still marked as adult content. Crazily, I have sent so many emails at this point trying to get this changed, but we are unsearchable on Patreon, so you need a link. There's a link on the website. There'll be a link under this video. We don't do adult content on Patreon. I must say that there is no adult content. It's knitting and crochet and extra vlogs. And yeah, I do extra vlogs for Patreon once a week, and they get all the information about what we're planning. I talk about the ideas that I've got. I show sneak peeks of things. Each of the tiers are different. You need to look at the tiers. So there's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4. Tier 4 is a mini skiing club. That one is limited to 20 places. There are 10 at the moment. There's 10 left because you get a mini skiing sent each month. I should have started at the first tier, shouldn't I? For goodness sake. The first tier is extra vlogs and access to our Discord group, which is fabulous. The second tier is extra vlogs, access to the Discord group, and access... Is it access to the secret shop? Yes, and then access to the secret shop. The secret shop opens a couple of days or a day before the actual shop update. Because we do limited number of things, if you're a patron, you get first dibs. So that opens, it just opens just for a couple of hours before the update. So that is the secret shop. And tier 3, you get all of the previous benefits, plus you get access to the Zoom group, which is run on a Tuesday at 7 till 9. This weekend we're having an all patron Zoom on Saturday. So if you're a patron, don't forget, I've talked about it on Patreon before then, but if you're a patron, yeah, there will be an all patron Zoom for everybody on Saturday. And if you're in tier 4, you get all the previous benefits, plus you get a mini skein sent out each month. Little side note about Patreon there, I'm really sorry. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm very excited about that. So 36 minutes in, that is all the knitting content. So we shall go quickly on to life updates, which there isn't a great deal, to be honest. We've got Vlogmas starting on Thursday. Oh my God, I'm very excited. I love Vlogmas. I love vlogging every day. It is just me in my happy place. I absolutely adore it. So I'm really excited for that starting. I will be vlogging every day. There may be the odd day if Mondays and Wednesdays are our absolute busiest days. So sometimes on those days I might not get a vlogging if we've just been in the car for the entire day and there's not a lot of content. But for the most part, I'll be vlogging every day. There was something else I was going to say about Vlogmas. I had an idea and I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me by Vlogmas. Anyway, so that's starting on Thursday. And yeah, we've just been preparing for Christmas like everybody else, trying to get the kids' Christmas presents done, preparing what we're going to be having and all those lovely things. I haven't put the decorations up yet. They will go up at some point in Vlogmas, maybe this weekend or the weekend after. I love the Christmas decorations. I don't like mine up too early just because of the cats. When mine are up, the cats are a nightmare. They are just constantly pulling tinsel and one thing and another. So I don't put them up too early because it's a lot of work keeping the cats off them. Stuart. I'm talking about Stuart. It used to be Tilly. Before the lovely Tilly passed away, bless her, she was the worst one at Christmas. She would jump inside the Christmas tree. And I mean, just sitting there, the Christmas tree would go over. She still wouldn't get out. If you tried to get her out so you could pick the Christmas tree up, she would hiss and spit at you. She adored the Christmas tree. And Tilly wasn't a little cat. She was a big girl. We've never had a big Christmas tree because in our lounge, there isn't the room. We just don't have the room for it. So I used to have a little 4-foot Christmas tree. We're not having one at all this year because now I've got the computer desk in here as well. There really is no room. So what I do now is I just decorate the fireplace and I make that really, really Christmassy, and that's enough for us. But it doesn't stop the cats. So Stuart has just taken over from Tilly. Tilly never bothered with the fireplace, but Stuart does. Because I have, like, you'll see when I'm doing Vlogmas, I have a really big thick tinsel dangling all the way over the top of the fireplace and then down. And he goes up to one side, he gets his claw in it and he just pulls it and he just sends it all flying. But anyway, that's a little side note. So yeah, we haven't done a great deal at all. Finlay is just we are getting into the homeschool habits. And we've been working really hard on the shop update. We'd spent so long doing the mystery boxes. All the mystery boxes are out. You should have all received them by now. One went to the USA, and I don't think that's arrived yet, but I don't think it'll be long. But yeah, they have all started arriving. I did say it on Instagram, but I'll say it again here. If you've received a mystery box and you're using social media, can you please use a spoiler pic if you want to share on social media? Just because a lot of the people are saving them for Christmas. But I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I can't wait for you all to see what's inside. So, yeah, that's everything for that. We'll talk about the shop update, which is on Thursday at 7 o'clock on myyarnycorner.com. We've worked really, really hard for this shop update. We have bags and we have yarn this time. I try and keep things different. As you know, I do project bags and cups and notebooks, but I don't like to flood too much of the same things into the shop. I like to always keep it a little bit different. We don't do huge amounts of yarns. We do a lot of unique colourways, so there's not a lot of the same yarn going in. One of them, I'm going to bring all the yarn here. I'll show the yarn first. Oh my word. Do you know, I nearly did it as well. Nearly did it. One of the yarns you are going to have to fight me for, because I will be on the website at 7 o'clock on Thursday to buy this yarn, so it's beautiful. This is my favourite one out of the entire collection this month, and it's one of Danny's. I just love it. Absolutely love it. He said I'm not allowed to keep it. It's just gorgeous. I don't know what it's called. What have you called this one?
Huh?
What have you called this one?
Toxic.
No. I can't remember. They'll all have names. So first of all, we have this one. There is one of those. Where am I going to put them now? Back there. We have two of these, which is Snowcap Mountain. There are two of those. And it's just really pale blues. It's coming out darker than what it is. It's more pale than that. It's more subtle. It's not quite that. Yeah, that's about right. This bit here isn't as. That bit there is dark. It's all different tones of blue and white and grey, which is, that's about it there. There are two of those. That's Snowcap Mountain. That's one of Danny's, or they're both Danny's. I did, this one is mine. This one has no name yet. And this is again different shades of blue, not quite as dark as what it's showing, but there are very few. There's not a lot of speckles of black, not very many, just a few, just to give it a little bit of drama. As there is this one. There is this one that has no name. Oh, it's gorgeous. And this one is pinks, purples and greys and moody and dark and gorgeous. The light is not showing it great. That's that one. This is mine. There are two of these. Oh my God, I'm dropping yarn. I thought I did two of those. I did. I am not professional. This is Girl Meets Boy. My favourite. Another favourite. They're all my favourite. Okay, we'll just say they're all my favourite. That is Girl Meets Boy, and it's just pinks and blues and bits of purple in there as well. There are two of those. Is that... Yeah, there are two of these ones. These ones have no name yet. Two of those ones. I don't know what we're calling those. Really, really gorgeous. And they're just a mixture of purples, pinks, greens. And there's a bit of grey in there. It's just a real nice tonal, variegated, not tonal yarn. Really gorgeous. This one has no name either. This is similar to this one because it's the same. It's the way I've scanned it. Are these the same, these two? Danny's ignoring me. He's got his headphones on. He can't hear me. Yeah. Yeah, they're similar because they're the same yarn. That's why they're similar. So there's 2 of those ones. I'm going to have to reskein this up now. I had it skeined just right as well. I'll just pause you a minute. Yeah, so they are the same. Pay no attention, do I? And then we've got, look at that. I love that one. One of my hairs already. This one, no name yet. And this one. Just so nice. Look at the depth of that blue. It's more of a turquoisey blue. It's showing dark blue there, but it's more turquoise. The light's not helping it, but it's gorgeous. That one. And then this one. Again, it's more turquoise, not as deep a blue as that. Beautiful. So those are the yarns that are going into the shop update, and then we have bags. Oh. So we have 1 large bag. The reason we only have 1 large bag is because I ran out of interfacing. I've changed the way I do the bags a little bit. When I was making bags originally, I was using the lightweight interfacing, and then I started using the thicker interfacing. I've gone back to the lightweight interfacing just because I think for storage they are so much better. If you want to store it, they fold up much neater with the lightweight interfacing. And the bags that I have bought with the lighter weight, I use more. So we have this one, which is a shawl size bag. Lovely white lining, and it's just beautiful. So we have that one. And then we have, there are some Christmas bags. I couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist. We have 4. So the rest of these are sock size. I have changed the sock bag size slightly. God, that was a mouthful. Sock bag size slightly. That's one of those riddles, them tongue twisters that you used to do as a kid. That's one of them. Sock size bag slightly. I've changed it slightly so it's slightly taller than it was. Same width, but it is just a bit bigger, which I just think is a better size. So there are these ones, I think we have a red lining. I'm going to list them all. Hang on, are they all red lining? I know they've all got different linings. Best check them. So the 2 blue ones have the brown lining, which is this one, which is beautiful. So the 2 blue sips have that. This one has a red lining, and this one has a red. Also, the 2 green ones have the red lining, which I haven't even shown you, have I? Goodness me. The red lining in those. So these are the Christmas tree ones, which I just love. There are 4 of these. This one is my favourite. Just look. They're all box bottoms. But yeah, just look at that. And the lining in this one, I can't remember what I did, is the red one. So there's 5 Christmas bags so far, and then we have this one which makes 6, and this is little tiny robins, which is just beautiful, and that has a red lining as well. So 6 Christmas bags, and then there are 2 which was using the old style interfacing that I was using, which is the thicker one. So you can see the difference. So when you try and fold this one to store it, it takes up a lot of room, whereas this one is much easier to store. That's why I'm staying with that. So we've got 2 using the thicker one. They'll be the same price. That one has a white lining, and it's just got the most gorgeous little rabbits all over it. Look at that. And then this one, look at this. More blue on one side and more pink on the other side, and that one's got a white lining. There are two of those. We have some cats. That one's got a pink. It's kind of like a tie-dye effect. Oh, there you go. You can see it like a tie-dye effect one there. Some cats. We have some checked gingham style, which I think is really sweet, with blue lining. And the last one, something a little bit more fun. I got a tiny amount of this fabric. I went to the fabric shop last week or the week before, and I was looking at all the different fabrics. They had a little tiny bit of this one, and I grabbed it because if it doesn't sell, I'm keeping it. Look at that. Pretzels. Who don't want pretzels? And this one is, oh, an orange lining. It's got little flowers on it. And that is it for the bags. So that is all of the bags that are going into the update. So there's quite a bit going in. There are, did I say 10 bags or something? 11 bags. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 yarns. So I've just dropped my pan. So I've been whittling on for 51 minutes. Oh my God. I've still got to talk about the mal. So in January, the 1st of January, we're going to start a new mal, and it's called the Test Your Limits Mal. I've checked on Instagram, the hashtag isn't taken, so it's going to be our hashtag. I'll put like a little cover picture up over the next few days onto that. So I'll pop that on the screen, the Test Your Limits Mal. You can sew, knit, crochet, whatever you want to do. The only point of this mal is you have to test your limits. So you've got to make something that you think might be a little bit past what you can do. There is going to be something coming for January which is going to tie in with that. You'll have to wait. I'm not saying it's going to be after the birthday bonanza. So you'll have to just wait and see what that is, but it's going to tie in with that mal. I think we're going to run it for, we'll say till the 1st of June. We'll run it till the 1st of June. I'm not sure how I'm going to do prizes yet, whether I'm going to do a big prize drop at the end where we're choosing things, or whether, I don't know how we're going to do it. You don't have to finish. As with all my make-alongs, you do not have to finish. The whole point of this is taking part. But do it, post your pictures as you're in the thick of it. So what am I trying to say is, you've got to be sort of actively trying to do something, not just showing a picture of what you're going to do and then never cast it on. You've got to be active in the mal, which most people, I've never had anybody that's not. But you don't have to finish. You really don't have to finish. But do use the hashtag. You know, I think we'll probably do a big prize thing at the end rather than doing it each month and doing a draw each month. That was a little bit tricky when we did the last mal. I think we'll get a bunch of prizes together at the end and do it that way, because we've got birthday bonanza coming up as well. That starts on my birthday, which is the 9th of January. And that finishes on Danny's birthday, which is the 6th of January. It's called Birthday Bonanza. No, not the 6th, the 16th of January. It's called Birthday Bonanza because we do a week. So it's designed, we started it last year. The podcast is 2 on the 11th of January. Finlay's birthday is the 6th of January. My birthday is the 9th and Danny's is the 16th. So we have a lot of birthdays, which is why it's called Birthday Bonanza. And it is just to cheer you all up after the Christmas rush has been and the January blues might have set in. It's just supposed to be a fun week. It's an entire week. So you'll need to watch every single vlog. There'll be a vlog for each day of Birthday Bonanza. The first day that there is a vlog, what you'll do is you'll leave a comment, and then on the next day we'll do a random comment picker and pick a name from the comments to win the first prize, and we'll pick a prize every single day. It's just supposed to be fun. So there's a vlog every day, there's a giveaway every day, and there's a lot going on. because we have that, we are going to do the next shop update after Birthday Bonanza. So the next shop update will be the 16th of January. So we'll have this one on the 1st, then we won't do another one until the 16th of January. And then we'll just try and reduce it back down the following month, so we're getting to the 1st of the month. So in February, we'll probably do the shop update around the 6th of February, and then March, we'll go back to the 1st of every month for the shop update. That's how we'll do it. But it's going to be too tricky in amongst Christmas to try and do a shop update, and there's Birthday Bonanza going on as well. So we're just going to do it on the 16th, on the last day of Birthday Bonanza, and then we can talk about it. So there is that. This will probably be the last podcast. I won't say it's the last podcast of the year, because I will be back at the end of December, possibly before the new year, for more of a roundup of what's gone on over the year, what I've made, what I'm knitting on. Because I'm only going to be knitting on the Advent pants, she says, this could go drastically wrong, but whatever. I'm only going to be knitting on the Advent pants. I'm not going to have anything to really show for a podcast episode. But there will be an episode come out after Christmas, which will be all about a roundup of 2022, shall we say. So there will be another episode, but this will be the last actual podcast of the year, which is how I've rambled on for nearly an hour. Oh my God, sorry about that. And yeah, so I hope that you will all join us for Vlogmas, and if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do consider subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow, and you know, as we love our YouTube community and we just want to see it grow. So if you're not subscribed, do consider clicking the subscribe bell. For Birthday Bonanza, don't forget that starts on the 9th of January. There will be no information on any of the pictures, thumbnails, anything like that it includes giveaways, because I don't want any trolls. So it will just say Birthday Bonanza, but I'm telling you all here now, the ones that are active in the community, there is a giveaway every single day, but I won't mention that on any of the Instagram or anything like that. And yeah, so I hope you've all had a lovely, lovely crafty 2 weeks. I will see you on Thursday for day 1 of Vlogmas. And take it easy, everybody. Did I just say Danny's line then? Oh my God, how weird. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. His face is a picture. I've got tongue-tied. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely crafty, I was going to say 2 weeks, but I'll be back on Thursday anyway. So hope you all had a lovely crafty 2 weeks. I will see you on Thursday for day 1 of Vlogmas. Bye bye, everybody.